children. Today I am going to teach you lesson number 6. The eyes are not here. See here in this lesson the story is about a blind person that was actually blind, but he was not ready to show his blindness in front of others. And the same happened in his life when he was traveling in a train, that actually he was blind, but he was not ready to show his blindness in front of others. He wants to lead a normal life. He wants to show he had a normal life, and he don't wants to show his blindness in front of others. So this poem written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond. He wrote this lesson. The eyes are not here. See, actually that physically challenged people, they wants to lead a normal life. That as it is others we are going to live, no? Same they wants to lead. They are not ready to show their illness, physical illness. They don't wants to show to others, and they wants to live normal life. And they were here also one story of a blind person, that he was actually blind, but he was not ready to show his blindness in front of others. He was not ready to say he was blind. And here this lesson written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond, one of the finest storytellers in English in India, was born in Kausoli in 1934. In 1934, Ruskin Bond born. He was very famous in telling the story, that too in English. That he was very famous in telling the story in English, and he was born in the year 1934. He has written several novels, short stories and books for children. So he wrote several stories. That for small children also he wrote the stories, and he wrote so many books, novels, stories. For children also he wrote the book. That he was very famous storyteller in English, and he born in the year 1934, and he wrote so many novels, story books for the children. He was awarded Padma Shri in 1999. He got Padma Shri award in 1999 for his contribution to children's literature. For which one he got the Padma Shri award? For writing the literature, means stories for small children. He wrote no story. For that one he got Padma Shri award in the year 1999. The Room on the Roof, written when he was 17, won the John Llewellyn Rhines Memorial Prize in 1957. Actually, when he was 17 years old, that time only he wrote a story, and he got prize in that one. In the year 1957 only he got his first prize. Afterwards he got Padma Shri award in 1999 for his contribution to children literature. Many of his stories are based on Mussoorie at the foothills of Himalayas where he lives. So he wrote so many stories about Mussoorie only, because he was living there, and he know very well known about that one. And this is the hill station Mussoorie in Himalaya, and he wants to write about that one only. In story he was taking that Mussoorie, and he was writing the stories also, because he lives there only, and he wrote about Mussoorie. In so many stories he used Mussoorie place. And here children, so this is about the author Ruskin Bond, and he wrote this story to say how the physically challenged people, they were not willing to show their physical imbalance in front of others. Sometimes what happens children, as we are physically fit, but we are not able to do something properly. But that physically challenged people, may be blind, may be deaf, they will do, because other sense organs are very sensitive to them, and with that sensitive organs they wants to do the work it is as if a normal person they wants to lead the life. So here Ruskin Bond written, the eyes are not here. Lesson. Pre-reading activity. Generally we notice physically challenged leading a normal life. Do the physically challenged accept their condition with resignation? Discuss in pairs. See, no. They were not ready to show their physical imbalance. Physical imbalance, whatever they have. They may be blind, they may be deaf, they may be have some other physical problems, but they were not ready to show that one. They wants to lead a normal life, just normal people how they wants to lead life, no? Like so only they wants to lead life. They don't want anybody courtesy for them. They want love and affection, but they won't expect courtesy for them. They want to lead a strong life. If he may be blind, but with white stick he wants to cross the road without anybody's help. So much they were wants to lead a normal life in our daily life. We can see so many physically challenged people, but they were not to become burden on others. They were very wants to lead life for themselves and normal life. So here what happened, children? Here in this picture you can see here one railway compartment is there. That two people, that one young man and one young lady, they sat here in this compartment. About these guys only, story written by the narrator, author Ruskin Bond. That how they were not ready to show their blindness, and how they wants to show they are normal. So he wrote the lesson here. So this is the railway compartment and two people sat here. See in this picture, one young man and a young lady is there. In first paragraph, I had the compartment to myself up to Rohana, and then a girl got in. Rohana, the name of a place. That person, that young man, he sat in that compartment. Before the arrival of girl only, he sat in that compartment. And what happened up to Rohana, name of the place, up to that place he was alone in that compartment. When Rohana place came, no, that time one girl entered in that compartment. The couple who saw her off were probably her parents. They seemed to be very anxious about her comfort, and the woman gave the girl detailed instruction as to where to keep her things. See, that one girl entered in Rohana place. One girl entered in that compartment only where that young man was there. No, in that compartment only. That girl entered. She also came in that compartment. And with her, she had parents. Parents came with her, and they told, they were very anxious, they were very eager how she will reach that next station. That type, they were very anxious, and they kept her luggage, and they told her where they kept her luggage, and you should not talk with the strangers. This type of instruction given by parents to that young lady. This is actually in our daily life also we will see that parents are very anxious about their children, that girl child, and they used to give instruction whenever the children are going, means they starts to give lot of instruction, how to behave, what to talk, how to behave with the stranger, not to talk with the stranger, not to take any food from the strangers. This type of instructions usually we are giving to our kids also. So what happened here? That girl's parents also, they used to give so many instructions to that girl. They said their goodbyes. The train pulled out of the station. See what happened? Their parents get down from that train and they said bye to that girl, and the train started to move from that station to next station. And here that girl only traveler in that compartment, and the young man already was there in that compartment, and their parents gave instructions and they went out of the train, and the train moved fastly. In second paragraph, children, as I was totally blind at the time, my eyes sensitive only to light and darkness. What happened here, children? That actually that person, he was blind. That young man was totally blind. He can't see anything, but only he can identify darkness and brightness. So that much only it was possible him to see, that sensitive only to light and darkness. His eyes are able to recognize only light and darkness. But he was totally blind and he was not able to see who sat in front of him in that same compartment. I was unable to tell what the girl looked like, but I knew she wore slippers from a way that slapped against her heels. That he was unable to see her. That blind person, young man, he was unable to see that girl. She may be beautiful, she may be ugly, whatever it may be, but he can't see her because he was blind. But he can see that she wore slippers, because the voice, that noise that made by slippers, no, he understood that she wore slippers in her heels. It would take me some time to discover something about her looks, and perhaps I never would. But I liked the sound of her voice and even the sound of her slippers. But he is not able to see her. He is not able to see her beauty. But he heard only voice of that young lady. That it was very sweet voice she had. She had very sweet voice, and that her slipper sound also very nice, and her voice also very good to listen. Are you going all the way to Dehra? I asked. I means here narrator. That he asked that girl. That he heard that girl entered the compartment. He know very well one girl entered the compartment and she sat in front of him. But he can't see. But he asked one question to that girl. Are you going to Dehra? I must have been sitting in a dark corner because my voice startled her. What happened here? He sat actually in a darkness of that compartment he sat. That girl, he didn't see him. That when he asked sudden a question that are you going to Dehra means, what happened? She really afraid. She scared with that voice. That she don't know that person, he sat in darkness, no, so she was unable to identify that one person is there in that compartment. And when that person asked this question, no, she becomes scared with that question. She gave a little exclamation and said, I don't know anyone else was here. See, this is very important line. You have to underline this one, children, because reference to the context, they may give this one to you. That, see, I don't know, and now anyone else was here? She asked this written question to the narrator. He asked, are you going to Dehra? Means that girl, she actually scared with that voice. And she asked, I don't know anyone is there in this compartment. She asked written question to narrator. Well, it often happens that people with good eyesight fail to see what is right in front of them. See, that narrator, he thought himself that it will happen that if physically everything is okay means that people are unable to recognize that what is there in front of them. So it will happen. See, and he starts to think like so that the people that who have good eyesight, they may be unable to see who is in front of them also. This type he understood that one. They have too much to take in, I suppose, whereas people who cannot see have to take in only the essentials, whatever registers most tellingly on their remaining senses. What happened here, children? Actually, he starts to think when that lady asked a question. Oh, I don't know that anyone is there in this compartment. This question made a narrator to think a lot. That he started to think that I am blind. Okay, that in front of that lady, why she can't recognize me? See, this will happen. The people who have good eyesight, they will also become failed to recognize who sat in front of them. That if we are we lost our eyesight, we will take only essentials. Whatever is necessary for us, that much only we will take. But who had good eyesight, no, they will try to take all and they will neglect what is there in front of them. This time he started to think about that lady. I don't see you either, I said, but I heard you come in. See, he said, I don't see you. I also didn't see you, but I heard that you entered the compartment. That he said this sentence, that but he was also not able to show his blindness, but suddenly he said this sentence, that I also didn't see you, but I heard that you entered the compartment. This statement given by narrator, but he was also not ready to show that lady that he was a blind person. I wondered if I would be able to prevent her from discovering that I was blind. I thought, provided I keep to my seat, it shouldn't be too difficult. See, that what he did after giving this statement, I don't see you either, but I heard you came in. Immediately he thought, why I said this statement to that lady? He may understand that I am blind means because he was playing a game with the co-travelers. He wants to play a game that he was not blind. But with this statement, he wondered that why I said this one to her. She may understand if I am blind means game is over. That time he started to think, and immediately he clarified, he changed the sentence, and he said that I sat on my seat, no, so it was difficult to see. That he changed the sentence, that I didn't see, he said, but afterwards he changed that one, his sentence, because he may not understand that I am blind, because he wants to play a game with the co-travelers, no? So what he did, children, he changed his sentence and said, oh no, I sat on my seat, no, so it was not I am not able to see you. This type he changed and he recovered his sentence. The girl said, I am getting down at Saharanpur. My aunt is meeting me there. That girl said, that first question he asked, no, are you going to Dehra? For that question, now she is answering, that lady answering that, I am not going to Dehra, I am going to Saharanpur, and there my aunt will come to pick me. This statement given by that lady in answer to his question, that are you going to Dehra? He asked, are you going to Dehra? No, now she told that I am going to Saharanpur and my aunt will come to pick me. This statement said by that lady. Then I had better not to be familiar, I said. Aunts are usually formidable creatures. That he said, oh, I should stop now only, not to talk more anything with this girl. That if aunt came in next station and if she started to scold me, means what to do, now I have better to be silent. This type he stopped his talking for a while. Where are you going? She asked. Now that he thought now it should be better to be silent. Then she asked a question, where are you going? To Dehra and then to Mussoorie. He told that narrator said that now I am going to Dehra. Next I want to go to Mussoorie. Then what happened here, children? Oh, how lucky you are. I wish I were going to Mussoorie. I love the hills, especially in October. See what happened here, children? That lady, she told to this narrator that, oh, how lucky you are going to Mussoorie. Because Mussoorie is one of the beautiful place, children, in hill station. It was that very beautiful hill station, and in October month it was very beautiful, too beautiful to see. So that lady said that, oh, you are very lucky, you are going to Mussoorie, you can see their hill station, you can enjoy a lot. This type she said to that narrator. Yes, this is the best time, I said, calling on my memories. The hills are covered with wild dahlias, the sun is delicious, and at night you can sit in front of log fire and listen to some music. So, see here what happened here. He said, yes, this time is most beautiful time in Mussoorie. He recalled his memories, means he was not by birth blind. That he was actually, he had eyes, but now why he lost his eyes not given here, but he recalling his memories means in back he may had eyesight, good eyesight, and he was able to see the beautiness of Mussoorie and he enjoyed a lot there, and now he lost his eyesight. That's so what he did, children. He started to recall his memories, how beautiful Mussoorie was. And he said, yes, that dahlia, that flowers grown, wild dahlias were grown over the mountains and hills were snow covered. And at night time, that campfire we will do, no? That type log fire, in front of that log fire, we will sit and listening the music. That was a good experience. That was very enjoyable moment of our life. That narrator recalled his memory and he started to say how was Mussoorie. Many of the tourists have gone and the roads are quiet and almost deserted. Yes, October is the best time. He said that October is the best time that they want to, because that so many tourists were visiting that time to see the beauty of Mussoorie, and afterwards what happens, children, when all will go, no, that will become very calm and cool place for the visitors. So that Mussoorie, about Mussoorie he started to give the explanation how the Mussoorie was. That he said it was a so beautiful hill station, and that wild dahlias were grown up on the hills, and it was covered with snow, and so many people will visit October month. In the October month, so many people are going to visit Mussoorie, and at the night time, sitting in front of the log fire and listening the music was one of the good experience and good enjoyment. This one said by narrator to that girl. That girl said that, oh, you are so lucky, you are going to Mussoorie, no? That reply to that one, narrator, he recalled his memory. I means he was not blind by birth. He saw once when he had good sight, no? That time he saw Mussoorie and he recalled all and he told to that young lady. She was silent, and I wondered if my words had touched her, or whether she thought me a romantic fool. Then I made a mistake. What's it like? I asked. That what happened, children? That when he explained about Mussoorie, no, she became silent. She didn't say anything to narrator. She became silent, and immediately he thought, may I talk more about Mussoorie, or she may thought I am a romantic fool. This type imagination, this type of thoughts came to narrator. Why I talked with her in this manner, and why I explained about Mussoorie. This type thoughts came inside him, and she became silent, and he asked, what's it like? I asked. She seemed to be find nothing strange in the question. Had she noticed already that I could not see, but her next question removed my doubts. That when she became silent, no, he thought that she may discover that I am blind. So she became silent. That is, I am blind means she know that I can't see Mussoorie. So she may become silent. It seems what happened, children, that he understood that that girl that who sat in front of her, no, oh, she recognized that I am blind. So she became silent. This type that thoughts came in the mind of narrator. But when she asked the next question, no, that doubt removed the doubt that removed by that girl after asking the question. Why don't you look out of the window? She asked. That she asked one question to narrator, that he had confusion that she may understood that I am blind. But what happened, children? Next question she asked that why can't you see out of the window? She asked the question to that person, young man. I moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. What he did, he immediately moved. That he sat on the berth, no, he moved to the window immediately, and he started to watch the land and other things, whatever we can see out of the window when train is moving, no, that he started to watch that one, because he was not ready to show that he was a blind person. The window was open and I faced it, making a pretense of studying the landscape. That landscape means that whatever we are able to see when train is moving, no, that whatever the things we can see out of the window, land, trees, all we can see out of the window. Is it that he started to see that the landscape and whatever the tree, mountains, whatever will come, that animals, he started to watch from the window. He was showing that he was watching there. I heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and in my mind's eye I could see telegraph post flashing by. What happened here, children? That he can hear that engine sound. That he started to hear the engine sound and that wheels sound, and he was able to understand that blind people, they are very sensitive. That with the other sense organs they will recognize easily what is going. That he understood the telegraph post also, he understood, and he understood the sound of wheel, engine sound, and he was able to recognize all this. But he was showing that he was not blind, that he was showing that he can see everything from the window, whatever outside is there. Have you noticed? I ventured that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still. Yes, he asked one question that he wants to show that he was not blind, no. So he asked one question to that girl that do you notice that when we are sitting on the berth, no, that trees and all starts to move. That we feel that trees are moving, but we are standing here only. That he said his experience to that girl. But what she said, that always happens, she said. Do you see any animals, hardly any animals left in the forest near Dehra? She asked. Okay, that will happen. She also said naturally that, oh, that will happen when we will traveling, no, that time we are thinking that the trees are also moving with us. That will happen. That is common. She said, common this is. That type she said, and she asked, did you see animals, wild animals in Dehra? Any animals remained? Because nowadays that people are going to kill the wild animals, no? So she asked the question, did you see any animals in Dehra forest? Are any animals remained in Dehra forest? This type question that girl asked to the dead man. I turned from the window and faced the girl, and for a while we sat in silence. Because that he was not ready to say that he was blind. Then how could he tell that one whether he saw the animals or not in forest, in Dehra forest? But if he said, means if she asked any question on that, it will be problematic. Because he was not ready to show he is a blind man. Then he wants to see that he was physically fit. And if he said, yes, I saw, means if she asked any questions on that, means it will be problem to him, no? So what he did, children? He becomes silent, and she also becomes silent for a while. So up to stanza 20, I explained you, children. You also read the lesson once again and understand the